So Las Vegas will host one of boxing's biggest nights. Canelo Alvarez, he defends his undisputed super middleweight title against unbeaten 4-division champion Terence Crawford. This will be at the Allegiant Stadium. The historic bout, promoted by Dana White and UFC partnership with Saudi Arabia financier Turki Alalshikh, it will be streamed on platforms without a pay-per-view charges. For Alvarez, it's about preserving his dominance at 168 pounds and silencing critics who claim his hunger has faded. For Crawford, he's moving up 2 weight classes and he aims to become the first 3-division undisputed champion in 4-belt era. While Alvarez holds the power advantage, Crawford's speed, defense, and his ring IQ will give him a chance at a career-defining upset that could cement his place among the boxing's all-time greats. It's gonna be 1-for-1, Canelo Alvarez or Terence Crawford. Who will it be? One is stepping up weight in order to make this bout, and the other is an undisputed champion there. Of course, we have, joining up myself and Victor Cornell, we've got boxing coach Femi Bakare joining us. Thank you so much, Femi, for joining us on the show.
Hi, thanks for having me on.
It's great to have you. We're about to speak about a bout that everyone has been anticipating even before the announcement was done. I will begin with Crawford. Terence, he's moving with a daring speed. I would say his decision to step up 2 weight classes to face Canelo Alvarez was a daring one. Femi, how realistic are his chances? Because I'm trying to weigh this right now. He's got 43, not got any loss, not got any draws, but he's going to fight someone who's got 63 bouts, 2 draws, 2 losses. Beg your pardon. He's going to fight someone who's got 63 and 39 KOs from his career.
Okay.
This is really a big nut to crack. Remember, that's from 41 bouts, 31 KOs has Terence Crawford. So this is 2 mighty boxers going head-to-head. What is the chances of Terence Crawford pulling off one of the greatest upset of all time to defeat Canelo Alvarez?
All right, thanks for having me. This is what the time to be alive to see this boxing match happening, and all thanks goes to Turki Alalshikh for having this. And I must tell you that this is a P for P battle. I mean, pound for pound battle. This is what everybody has been expecting when it comes to boxing. And for Crawford, it's important to tell you that let me say this: Crawford is the most complete boxer on the planet Earth. His style of fight is dynamic. He can fight on the inside. He can fight in the middle, on the outside, even the mid-range fight. So, and people have been saying, Canelo Crawford is moving 2 weight classes and it's going to be difficult for him. I see Crawford, bringing something great that even Canelo would be able to stop. So Crawford is a dynamic boxer that is a switch stanza. He can fight from orthodox and he can also fight from the southpaw level. So weight class won't really matter here. It's all about the IQ, the ring generalship, and Crawford has that. I'll say in this fight, I'll say it is not the size of the dog in the fight, rather it's the size of the fight in the dog. That's what matters, and that depicts Crawford.
Okay.
So this is going to be a great one.
All right, we'll be anticipating what will turn up from Crawford. You've got so much confidence in Crawford, but I must remind you, Canelo has been accused of avoiding big challenges like the likes of David Benavidez, who in recent years, I remember that he was trying to just dodge that fight. Would a win for Crawford really strengthen or weaken his legacy, considering the fact that Crawford is even smaller and older than Canelo Alvarez? Go ahead, Femi, please.
Come again, please.
A win for Crawford.
Will a win for
Crawford? Will he cement his legacy with the fact that he's smaller and older than Canelo Alvarez?
Yeah, I think if you look at this at this point now, Crawford is much more stronger than Canelo. Over the time, considering the last fight Canelo had, he hasn't been that sharp compared to the age of Canelo. Compared to the age of Crawford. Crawford is older, 37, and Canelo 35. Canelo is somehow slowing down. Even he really outpunched his opponent. Now Crawford is, despite his opponent, is always there. He's always active, throwing punches. He's a great counter puncher. So at this point, Crawford winning for will cement the legacy, the boxing legacy, and also it's going to decide the P4P king, the pound for pound king. They are both pound for pound ratio, but at this point, it's going to be a decider who is the true king of pound for pound in boxing.
All right, I would add that for the fact that he had to step up 2 weight classes in order to fight Canelo Alvarez. Indeed, if he wins this one, it will cement his legacy in boxing because he's a complete fighter, just like you mentioned before. Let me bring in Victor into this conversation. Victor, this is for those who love boxing, who would love to watch this fight. It will be streamed on a popular platform, but it is promoted by Dana White and backed by Saudi's funding. You know what they say, Arab money. How much of a game changer could this model of streaming fights be for the future of boxing promotion?
Well, we've seen bits and pieces about that already. And you say Arab money, shout out to Black Buster Rhymes for giving us that passing back there. You talk about, fights like this, and I think these matchups are stuff that will make people want to actually sit up and watch. They would want to get their money's worth. So you talk about the fight stances of both of those fighters. Okay, orthodox, I can actually do it, complete job. And the other man is a southpaw. And you think, okay, well, maybe these two guys can give us something blockbuster, a movie, so to speak. And of course, the Arab, they know to make their money go round. White is also one who's not scared to actually put his money, to put his mouth where the money should be. And of course, it's like they have started building that future, they're envisioning it already, and they're executing the project as it should be now. I think in years to come, we look at this moment and we'll feel like, okay, this was a game-changing era for the world of boxing especially. And, I think some other combat sports will gradually
take a leave.
Join the and do bigger things right there. The fight itself, I think for the fight itself, let me just quickly chip this one in. I think Canelo will be quite bullish, given that he understands that his opponent is moving 2 steps up, one, and will have to be careful about the stance that he's going to hold. You can't just say, I'm southpaw, I'm so going to go completely southpaw against you right there in the ring. He has to be careful, and those microseconds in which he will be gauging his opponent and trying to reinvent himself, quickly adapt to whatever the opponent is throwing at him, those moments where you have to actually concentrate a whole lot more. So you might just take a bit away from him right there in that fight. So it's going to be quite an evenly contested affair, actually.
All right, an evenly contested affair between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford. So, Femi, who will your money be on? You cannot leave this show without telling us who your money will be on. Though I know, but just tell me.
I'm a strong fan of
Terence
Crawford.
I know.
Trust me, because I love the art of boxing. All the strength also goes to Canelo. He has been there, he has done that. But Crawford is a complete boxer. And there's no, on planet Earth, now he understands the art of boxing. And my bet is going to be on Terence Crawford.
Victor, do you have a different, divergent view? Who are you taking? Canelo?
Well, my mind tilts towards Canelo because I think he owns the ground, he knows the stuff, and he understands the business at that level. Crawford is just going to step up the plate to that level. So the only reason I'm thinking that is because maybe Crawford would have too much to think about when he's in the ring. That's why I want to give it just a little bit, slight advantage to Canelo right there. That's what just right.
Okay, Femi, you have Victor to face when Terence Crawford gets this one ahead of Canelo Alvarez. And Victor, of course, you've got Femi to face if Canelo gets this one ahead of Terence Crawford. But I'm just here going to be the referee in the conversation. All right, thank you so much, Femi Bakare, for joining us on the show. We appreciate your time on In the Game.
Thank you.